I've just arrived at the HKU station where the Hong Kong University is. Well, I've just got out of the elevator and what floor is it? I'm on 20th maybe. What does this mean? That the main campus here is probably quite big. The building has a very interesting architecture. Look, this is the main building, and in front of it, I'm standing on the roof. Annual tuition cost is $20,000 here. Let's look at the faculties that they have here. I'm walking through labyrinths here. Very cool. It feels different from other campuses I've been to. Friends, today I'm going to the University of Hong Kong, HKU, one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in Asia. Yes, it is much younger than Harvard or even more so Oxford, but believe me, since its founding in 1911, it has achieved a lot in science and research. What will I tell you about today? Well, first of all, I'll show you the university, tell you how it works, tell you a little about Hong Kong, what it's like, what to do here. Let's see if Hong Kong can really be called the best student city in Asia. I've just arrived at the HKU station where the Hong Kong University is. The station goes by the same name, HKU. To figure out the directions, since there are many exits, yes, right, there are signs here, which is convenient. Let's take a look. And here I found it. Here's left, here's right. The University of Hong Kong main campus. The university buildings are all around, but we're going to the main campus. Here's another cool thing about the toilets. Firstly, they have toilets at metro stations, which is convenient. Secondly, toilets have screens, like small TVs, which show how many stalls are available, show the weather, the cleanliness of air. Very nicely done. I don't remember seeing anything like this anywhere. My private spot on the subway. They have elevators going from the train station level. It's only for the University of Hong Kong. It says HKU only on the elevator. Wow, I've just got out of the elevator and what floor is it? I'm on 20th maybe. Do you see? I've just walked right up here, straight from the elevator. It's already very interesting, starting right from the elevator and the metro station. Here are the students. Looks like they have a graduation ceremony right now. Everyone's in suits, and it's not planned. I didn't expect a graduation ceremony. Oh, look, there is a little food court down below. The buildings are very unusual, honestly. Look at this, for example. Or this. Or below us. Here they have trees. And I found a map. Let's see. The University of Hong Kong campus directory. All of this is campus. See how many buildings they've got. And you're here. This is where I am. Well, I hope you see what kind of campus we have here. At least 35 buildings for sure. I'm wondering about the number of subjects they're studying if they have 37 buildings. We're at the oldest university in Hong Kong. It was originally created for training medical workers, but it was soon expanded and the number of training programs increased. HKU has 10 faculties now, including medicine, law, engineering, science, art, business, and social sciences. Its programs are regularly in Asia's top ratings, and the university itself is consistently in the world's top 50 in various rankings. HKU alumni and teachers have Nobel Prize laureates among them. Professor Charles Cao, for example, received the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2009 for achievements in the field of fiber optic communications. Who else graduated from this university? Politicians, business leaders, scientists. Leung Chun-ying, former chief executive of Hong Kong. Donald Tang, former chief secretary of the Hong Kong administration. Main campus to the left and main campus to the right. So, where do I go? Left or right? This means that the main campus is probably pretty big if you can get there going both left and right. Well, as they say, go with the flow, so we'll do just about that, but we'll go with the guys with the hats. I'm walking through Labyrinth here, very cool. It feels different from other campuses I've been to, and firstly it's located on kind of a hill, then the various urban-style buildings, and look how much greenery is here. Now, we're at the main building of HKU, built in 1912. It's one of the most recognizable university symbols and a historical monument. What I like about the HKU campus, and what you'll see in this video, is that it combines historical architecture and modern buildings. It has high-tech laboratories, a library, sports complexes, residential buildings for students and teachers. Yeah, teachers can live with students. The building has an unusual structure. Look, this is the main building, and I'm standing in front of it, but on the roof. It's like a kind of a square here, right? Surprising that it doesn't say Love HKU. This is a roof of a building. There is a building below me and a road. This is the St. Stephen's Church, and this is the St. Paul's College. Another educational institution. By the way, they have very prestigious educational institutions and schools here for locals. They are super prestigious. This St. Paul's College was opened in 1851. They're prestigious, but they look like unremarkable old Soviet buildings, but they're so prestigious that they have queues of Asian people for years ahead. Students are taking pictures everywhere, they're celebrating. Some beds or nightstands are stacked by the main building, but that's fine. But overall, it's clean and nice. You might find interesting that the university plays an important role in the public life of Hong Kong. What is it exactly? It participates in the development of government policies, in public debates, in charitable initiatives. The university played an important role in developing medication against various diseases. Hong Kong University continues to be a leading educational and research center, having a significant impact on the development of science, culture, and society both in Hong Kong and around the world. How do students live here? Well, Hong Kong is an international hub for foreign students and teachers, a multicultural education environment, plenty of opportunities for international networking. Besides HKU, there is also a Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, HKUST, and the Chinese University of Hong Kong, CUHK. They are also among the best universities in the world. Students are attracted by the fact that Hong Kong is an important financial and business center in Asia. Students can take advantage of numerous internships, employment opportunities in international companies. Festivals, concerts, exhibitions, and sporting events take place here. The city is a phenomenal tourist attraction. All this contributes to making students' life rich and exciting. Hong Kong has one of the most efficient public transport systems in the world, which makes moving around the city quick and convenient. In fact, you don't really need a car here. As for the disadvantages of living in Hong Kong, of course there are some, the main one being Hong Kong's well-known high cost of living. Rent, food, other daily expenses can be significantly higher compared to other cities, such as Kuala Lumpur, for example. Housing in Hong Kong is often small in size but high in cost. This may also be a problem for some students, especially if they're used to more spacious conditions. And of course, tuition is not cheap. Well, you want to know about the price. For locals, it's of course cheaper, and not just cheaper, 3 times cheaper. As for foreigners, and you and I are all foreigners, I doubt that you have a Hong Kong passport if you're watching this video. 145,000 Hong Kong dollars, it's about $20,000, so it costs about $20,000 a year to study here, 3 times as cheap for locals. Its annual cost, you pay this much every year. If you compare it with the English-speaking world, the price is, I'd say, average, in my opinion. Also, not everyone likes competition, and Hong Kong's educational institutions are known for their high academic standards and competitive atmosphere. A lot of students feel stressed and under pressure. The climate is also not for everyone. Yes, it would seem that Hong Kong is nice and pleasant, a great place to spend time, but it can also get quite hot and humid in the summer. This may trouble some students who are accustomed to colder climates. I also recommend you watch my video about the educational miracle of Singapore. Many compare these two cities, and in this video I reviewed Singapore's education system and some of the universities that are considered some of the best in the world. Education in Hong Kong has had a fascinating development path, starting with the colonial period under British control up to the return of the city under Chinese sovereignty in 1997. To put it briefly, some type of education started to get implemented during the British colonial era management. Why did the British bother so much? Simple, they needed personnel who would be educated and able to work in administration, commercial sectors, to develop industry and not just fish and farm. Even though fishing and farming are also important. Before the British came in the middle of the 19th century, what is now Hong Kong was primarily a fishing and agricultural area with a small population. The local economy was based on several key occupations. First, fishing. I took a ride along the old base of Hong Kong, visited houseboats, literally houses that are boats. You'll see all of this in my traveling videos about Hong Kong. With the rich fishing resources of the South China Sea and numerous rivers and canals, fishing was the main source of food and income for local residents. Fishing settlements were located along the coast, and many of these communities continue to exist to this day. Now, the agriculture. What were they growing? Rice, of course, vegetables and fruits. Trade and crafts. Hong Kong was not a major trade center back then. Correction, until the British came. Now, it's hard to imagine, but 200 years ago, less than 10,000 people lived in the area of modern Hong Kong. Now, 7.5 million people live here. 200 years ago, local residents traded fish, seafood, sold food and crafts work to passengers of passing ships, as well as agricultural products to neighboring regions and the passengers of passing ships. Particularly talented made ceramics and textiles. Waters of Hong Kong back then were plagued by pirates. The area was a convenient refuge for pirate ships which attacked merchant ships in the South China Sea. However, by the arrival of the British in 1842, pirate activity had decreased thanks to the efforts of the Chinese government. I've described you this historical image so that you could picture what it was like here. The British began to install educational institutions where teaching was carried out predominantly in English, which laid the foundation for bilingual education. After Hong Kong was handed over to China in 1997, educational policies changed significantly, including strengthening the role of the Chinese language and the culture in the curriculum. At the same time, English remains important and reflects the city's global status. Hong Kong, being a global financial center, has adapted its educational system to the needs of globalized world, emphasizing international cooperation and exchange. The rapid development of technology has also significantly impacted education with a special emphasis on STEM disciplines, that is, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Hong Kong students consistently demonstrate outstanding results in international assessments. Interestingly, in the beginning, the university has somewhat mimicked the University of Manchester, introducing the same subjects and teaching models that Manchester had. Between 1925-1926, strikes led to the government increasing the number of Chinese language courses. In 1927, students got the opportunity to get a degree in Chinese. Following that, the university had funds actively invested for the development of legal and social sciences. And so, 2 new faculties appeared. In 1982, the Faculty of Dentistry, based at the Prince Philip Dental Hospital, was established. To this day, it remains Hong Kong's only faculty training future dental professionals. Later, architectural and pedagogical schools were also added. And then, university's youngest department, economics. In the 90s, the Hong Kong government began to reform the university. Training has been diversified, the number of programs significantly increased. All this was done so that students did not go abroad. And they succeeded. Now the university has more than 140 programs, and the number of students grew from 14,000 in the early 2000s to 30,000. If you insist on ratings, here's some information for 2024. HKU ranked 26 in the world in the QS rankings, 35 in the world in Times Higher Education, 88 in the world according to Shanghai ranking, and 55 in the world in the US News Report. And well, I think that's clear enough. The Hong Kong University. What can you compare it to, if you're not familiar with it? You can compare it to Oxford, Cambridge, London School of Economics, UCL, MIT, Harvard, Stanford. So be it Harvard and Stanford. Point is, that is one of the best universities in the Asian world. And in Hong Kong, right now, it is number 1. Friends, this concludes our episode about the University of Hong Kong. Subscribe if you still haven't. Here on our channel, we publish a huge amount of information on foreign education, visas, various tourist information. Subscribe so you don't miss anything. And on our website, maps.com, you can find all the information about foreign education, including children's camps, how to get admitted into foreign schools or universities. Our consultants will answer any of your questions. You can also follow us on all social networks, just look up SMAPS, whether it's Instagram, Telegram, VK, we're everywhere. Follow us, message us wherever it is convenient for you.